All right, so for game number 1 of NGS Season 5 Storm Division, DG Handicap versus FWC eSports is going to Towers of Doom. This was picked by FWC eSports. I believe they banned out Braxis, and DG banned out Cursed Hollow. So we'll get to see, Towers of Doom, one of those maps that's got a lot of wave clear. You want to be able to control that bot lane. You want to be able to make sure you're controlling the Merc camps to get a lot of pressure. So a lot of times with a hero like Hanzo that can take those Mercs really quickly is highly prioritized, which is why we see the ban. We might see some Dahaka. Dahaka allows you to kind of make a... There you go. Dahaka allows you to kind of invade the other team's camp, make it a 5v4 when the other team might be there, or a 5v3 if you have really fast rotations. So that's why we see him banned out. Leaves open Urel that she can control a top lane. She can also do some double soaping. Doggo cam, please. Yeah, unfortunately she's not laying where the cam is, so I didn't really want to move it around. But we're going to see the Genji ban. One of those heroes that just is annoying to play against. You kind of have to change your playstyle, be a little safe if you're getting poked out, and then you have to worry about Genji coming in and finishing you off. But then FWC answering with the Kayn ban. One of the top healers, in my opinion, right now. I'm sure some of these teams agree since he is banned out. So this opens up both the Alexstrasza, new Stukov, Rhaegar for some of that wave clear. But with the first pick here, we'll see what they decide is their most important. Maybe the Urel. They actually pick up the Jimmy. Mr. James Rayner coming back into play with the nice new skin.
The crusade calls.
So it begins.
And immediately picking up with the Joanna Azadan. Are they going back to the old school late game Azadan where you have the Joanna combo and you're just running around just doing mid bot and soaking up the minion wave, stacking up that Annihilation really quick? But DG saying, okay, well, we're going to pick up Garrosh, try to control these team fights with the throws, get some picks on their rotations maybe. Probably going to look up to be a little aggressive and pair that with the Rhaegar, which gives them some of that wave clear like I was talking about. So this allows Rhaegar to, honestly, he can take the camp by himself because what they're showing so far are not really good camp tankers at all. But, with some rotations, Rhaegar can take the camp himself. So, FWC eSports, who do they want to ban? They're probably going to look at a ban who's going to counter them the most. Honestly, I kind of want to see, like, no joke, want to see DG Alpha kind of go with a Tyrael. I feel like Tyrael is really good against Azmodan because of his AoE heal, or AoE shield on the full minion wave. It delays a lot of the globe stacking. DG bans out Alexstrasza. Since they picked up Rhaegar, they didn't want to deal with FWC having another powerful healer, especially Alexstrasza that can force a fight on some of the solo bell towers and makes it very hard to push into her. But FWC picks up the Kharazim and the Urel. Kharazim going 7-sided is probably what's going to be picked up for against the Garrosh, so if Garrosh steps out too far, he can get beat up. Plus, pretty good dive with the Urel and the Joanna. They can kind of just run at somebody and ignore Garrosh altogether. I don't know if they can see the chat, goat, honestly, but he says, let's get some Diplo pride going in chat. What is this? The Chen? Is this just going to be a barrel the Azmodan into your team? But there's Palm available. I don't know. That's some spiciness. This is Storm Division. This is some high-level strats going on here. We're this close to banning Chen, too. High-level strats with the Chen Phoenix. And FWC picking up the Cassia afterward with that. I'm gonna wait for chat to catch up on the Chen. So, I mean, I can see the strat there because Chen... Does Chen beat Urel? I don't think he does because Chen will drink. Urel just saves the stun for the drink. She heals. So Chen doesn't beat Urel in the solo lane. I don't believe so. But in the team fighting, if you're able to barrel the Azmodan or the Cassia, honestly, that can prove to be kind of the win of the team fight. But we'll have to see where they go. So chat, let's see if we can get some voices of opinion of Who do you think is better here? Do we got the stacking Azadan with the Cassia backup for some of that sustained damage, or the Chen Rhaegar Phoenix? That's a lot of auto attack with the Phoenix and the Rainer. They do have the Cassia and a Joanna. That's 2 blinds against the Rainer and the Phoenix. It's not going to look too good for him. DG Alpha. What about DG Alpha? Oh, DG Alpha dead. Yeah. So, I don't know. To me, the wave clear of if McNulty and Axon really focus on this back and forth wave clear of Axon, if he gets stacked up pretty quick, that can harm Rhaegar's healing a lot, force a lot of the extra early heals. Did I see DG Alpha? I think I just said DG. Did I see DG Alpha? Anyways.
Prepare yourself.
Game number 1, DG Handicap. We got DTM Goat on the Garrosh, the Sigia on the Chen, Archaic on the Rainer, Roendine on the Rhaegar, and DG on the Phoenix. On the right hand side, the red team, FWC eSports, we got Flyest Raven on the Yrel, Rhaetor on the Monk, Axon on the Azadan, McNulty on the Joanna, and Crovin on the Cassia.
5, 4.
Looking at these level 1s real quick, we do have the Wrath being picked up. Allows him to do a lot more auto attacks once he hits that globe. I mean, they have Joanna and Yrel stun, and the Yrel stun's a lot for interrupting Chen. But let's see if they're going to look for a little bit of pick. I think, honestly, Joanna and Aslan are just going to be looking to get some globes here. And we're going to try to pay attention to his stacking. So he's up 10 already. I mean, that's a full wave. Wait, plus extra. Can you escape there? This is not working. OBS has failed me. There we go. So, again, just teams focusing on their wave clear. Getting on these rotations of the format. We're going to see Joanna and Axmadan constantly going back and forth on this. We're probably going to want to have Garrosh looking to disrupt them as much as possible, just to kind of slow them down. But let's, as they're doing this, let's check out this solo lane for a little bit. It looks like Sigia is not having a fun time. Already down to a quarter health. Now, granted, he probably won't die, but he will not be able to pressure this wave at all. Quick rotation immediately onto these knights right when they're being, or into the sapper camps right when they're being available. Because again, Azadan and Joanna have enough wave clear on their own to clear the lanes. And we get the immediate response from DG as well. Ooh, I like this quick little Yrel rotation down just to make sure that they don't miss any soak. Weakening the wave for the Azadan. Nice clear there, honestly. That's a good combo. I said DG Alpha? Well, that's my bad. Oops. It's hard. I know DG Alpha. I say them all the time, so that's what I played against. It was a little bit of a throw. Garrosh throwing the minion away, not the hero. It's one of those tricky parts once you're in the lanes with them. But, I mean, the stacking is already getting up there. I mean, he's up to 70 with 2 minutes left. I mean, that's, what, more than a quarter to the 200 point already? Rel's not even level 4, already trying to get some of that double soaking in. Has no problem against it. McNulty going in, just a little bit of an interrupt just because they already saw that Phoenix does go down. They believed. McNulty didn't even believe. He gave up. He's like, whatever, man, he's gone. But Rhaetor and Crovin were like, no, we're still killing him. Garrosh gets thrown at Joanna, but she just pops her unstoppable and just walks away. Meanwhile, Cassia is doing work on this back line. That's sustained damage. I think it's something it's going to be tough for DG to get through. I'm just not going to say Handicap or Alpha. I'm just going to say just DG. Switch scenes. That's a good idea. Alright, so first section of the bell towers. Looks like DG is positioning to try to take both the top ones. I think this is definitely okay for FWC. I don't think they really care about this, just because it's going to allow Azadan to get more and more stacking. They'll be able to delay enough with Azadan. Flash Raven dying for it, though. It means they're definitely going to give it up. I don't think they want to continue to fight this. Just let Axon continue soaking waves. So looking at the stacking now, at 3 minutes, already at 118. We got Chen going for the barrel stacking. Craig toss, getting more and more. McNulty falling down. Getting low. I think he's going to die there, and he does. Digi finally escapes out, getting really low on health. Chen is now going to do what Chen does and just body blocks. They're looking for the final hit, but Archaic was not able to get it. So, both Sapper camps available once again. DTM Goat looking for a little bit of evade. The rest of his team's not there, so he's going to end up not flipping him, but just getting that extra Q stack. You guys need to calm down, alright? Okay, nothing's happening in the game yet. There are 2 talents in, alright? Nothing's happening. Chat giving me a hard time. So, level 7's reach for both teams. We actually got the lower cooldown for the Condemned build from the Joanna, which is quite interesting. I mean, because most of the time you're going to have your Condemned cooldown up anyways in between these lanes, so it's really only going to be effective in the middle of a team fight. So it does spare you a couple seconds off of your, maybe like 2 seconds off of your Condemned in the middle of a team fight.
You had better hurry. The altars rise again.
Divine Steed picked up, allowing Uriel to double soak quite easily. And this is a good job for FWC. They cleared out the other sappers from the enemy team early, allowing theirs to push in so that they can get some value. You see that they already got that tower down. And a lot of that tower being down is already due to the Axon's globes killing the wave so quickly. It's constantly keeping them on their toes.
Do not let the gravekeepers
I fixed the overlay. We got it. We're good. Just gotta catch up. Alright, we got a little bit of fight going on here. A lot of poke going on to the Phoenix in the background. Chen's trying to be disruptive as possible. I think that interrupted his laser. It does not. Chen's going for the interrupt. But Fly's Raven, pretty low. The blind does not hit the Rainer, so she's able to poke down. But now, that's what I was saying, that Rhaegar was going in for the final kill. Ends up dying. Chen's looking to be the next one, but I mean everybody else on the other teams is low enough where I think they can still defend this as long as there's enough poke. Cassie gets lucky that Digidashi didn't turn on her. McNulty lasting for forever in that backline, but I think with the 2 of them dead now, Azanan will probably try to get one more interrupt. He does. So gives them a little bit of time, allows DTM Goat to pick up the quarter level lead.
and mine alone.
So we have the Surge of Light coming out, seeing as that she's probably going to be auto-attacked a lot, so she's expecting to get a lot of value out of that talent, which is fair. Cleanse coming out. I mean, there's only, what, 2 stuns, but I guess it's definitely worth it. McNulty just want to be interrupting. DTM Goat finishing out the quest pretty early. Now, see, Azvan's already done as well, so like his auto-attacks, he's going to start chunking people with the Wrath. Got a little Fly's Raven just kind of hanging out. Doesn't need to show. So this is a lot of times we'll see from some of these higher up teams that they want to make sure that they are giving the least amount of information as possible to the enemy teams. So a lot of times we'll see them hanging around in a bush. If the rest of the team's not showing on the map, then you might have your solo laner that should be clearing, not show up on the map. So that way you give them that false sense of like, could he be here? And, you know, hopefully a lot of times that may alter the enemy team's decision. Something to think about for those other people out there. You know, information given is a huge deal. See, as we see here, McNulty doing a lot of this warding, if you will, to the other team. Getting a little bit of team fight. Blessed Shield going out. They're pulling in the Valkyrie immediately with the 7-sided, almost blowing up DTM Goat, but not available enough. He gets the Ancestral. Phoenix barely gets out alive with only 100 health, and nobody dies during that exchange. Both assassins coming out with no health. And we actually saw Accent. Was this a mistake? He picked the... I don't even know what that talent is, honestly. Taking Demonic Invasion. So he's looking to kind of just pressure these forts non-stop. Which is quite interesting, because I mean, he went the... I guess he's assuming his Wrath talent already has enough damage with the auto attacks to kind of be threatening. Looking at the 10, we do have the barrel. Wandering Keg coming out. So looking to get a lot of that isolation with the barrel. Maybe looking to try either take Cassia or the Azadan. Taunt being traded unstoppable by the Joanna, so that's a good cooldown. Granted, it's very short. Ooh, I said granted. So we got going back honestly to the passive game. These teams are so even in experience that I mean, they're just on point with their rotations back and forth. Still stacking the Asenath. He's at 300, 8 minutes into the game, 9 minutes. Blessed Shield coming out, big interrupt, taking in the Garrosh, able to get away, does not get away, was not able to have the Ancestral this time. Phoenix is looking in trouble. They're looking for the escape, but here comes Yrel. Has the bump away, knocks Phoenix away from the Azadan. A little bit of annihilation, but it did not matter because the rest of this team was there. So, DG is going to need to look for some pressure elsewhere. They know that they're all bot lane. They know they can't do anything about it. So let's see what they decide to do to kind of get themselves a little bit, you know, not lose as much pressure.
Once more, the altars rise from the depths.
Chen just looking to get some stacking, being a pest as Chen is. Level 13's almost reached for FWC. 4-man engage here. Yrel doing some double soaking. They're keeping a lot. I mean, now with these towers down, they have a lot more room to just be pressure on that lane. But with these double bell towers, how are they going to split it up? How are they going to split up? Level 13's just hit for FWC. Let's see what they picked up. We actually got the punish damage. We actually had the punish quest from McNulty. We see if that ever gets it, if he ever gets it complete. Now, granted, the slow on 2 people is already good enough. Looks like they're giving up bot 1, letting Phoenix know they actually have the interrupt from the Azadan. Valkyrie comes out, but actually gets thrown. The Chen throws him out. Ancestral lands. Big, huge Ancestral. Nice stun from the Garrosh, allowing Phoenix to be able to capture the bot lane bell tower. But everybody's on the run. But I mean, they're all still hurt. Phoenix is coming in here with full health, coming in using the health. Rhaegar dies in the back end. The Phoenix ult barely keeps Cassie alive, but they picked up the Joanna and the Azadan. Oh, now Cassie did die. Must have been coming from the Rainer. So, bell tower's still alive. Are they going to look to push here, get some fort damage before they take the bell tower? Picking up Monk in the back end, the end of the fight. Rel jump into safety. So, great team fight for DG. I mean, they had Phoenix in the back on the bot bell tower, so they were actually fighting that down 4v5 for the most part, and just having Azadan trying to interrupt the Phoenix, but eventually he couldn't focus it on anymore. And so the fact that nobody died with Phoenix coming back up was huge. Big 3-man stun. Another combo. Didn't even need the 7-sided, probably because Monk wasn't there, and Garrosh kind of got deleted. Level 13 Rhaegar still hasn't been picked yet. Level 14 for both teams. Again, I mean, these teams are what, 8 kills to 6 kills? A pretty active game. So even on experience. I just really want to see when this Azadan finishes this quest. But there's 4 here. 5v5, got the barrel coming out. 4v5, Garrus is dead. But I mean, even with the 4v5, they're still pushing in. Get a big barrel, pushing all the way. Demonic Invasion coming on top of the Rainer. He dies pretty quick. Cassie is looking at the Chen with the 7-sided strike, and Chen dies. One has to think that maybe that engagement wasn't the one that they wanted to fight, since they were down somebody, paid for it, and now they're definitely going to lose this fort. Is he stacked yet? 3 more. 3 more stacks. Let's look at the damage. With that free fort, especially, oh man, a time that you do not want to see it if you're a DG Alpha, with the 3 bell towers right after you lost a huge team fight and a fort. Look at the damage here. Azadan sitting at 32. Cassia not far behind with a 31. Phoenix up to 37, and Rainer up to 37. So, you know, we see DG putting out a lot more damage, but I mean, they have more kills. Granted, they had more kills before that team fight. Level 16s as well. They might be giving this up. They're already ahead on stack on shots. They don't need this bell tower unless they can get a pick early. Garrosh throwing Yrel in the bot lane, but McNulty's in trouble. Killing Joanna, which is the hardest one to kill. That's always a win, especially down talent tiers. Huge damage from the globe coming out. Wandering Keg looking to isolate somebody. Cassia destroying the Rainer. Monk finishing him off. Chen's getting thrown by the Garrosh. Cassia is doing work. She's got so much like kill pressure on everybody. She does not even care. Oh man, these team fights are active. So with, it looked so good for DG right at the beginning. They're picking off McNulty right at the start. Yrel running to her tower to safety. I think she'll, yep, with the Divine Steed. Actually goes back in, does not even care, has her ultimate. She's like, whatever. Maybe I can bait them in farther. Phoenix might just want it. But ends up not to. DTM good actually getting too low. They don't know where the rest of the team is. So this is where I was talking about earlier, where you really get to the point where you want to control this bot lane, as we see FWC doing. Just make sure they keep pressure on this bot lane. They have Asmodan. Valkyrie coming in, securing the kill for the Monk on the Garrosh. Since he got 7-sided strike, is just demolishing Garrosh, honestly. Asmodan's able to keep pressure on the mid lane while the rest of his team's down here. Not looking good for FWC. I mean, they're still ahead on bell towers, but for how long? How long can they hold this up? They need to hold up for a little bit longer than then. Chen getting knocked out, able to hit the Wandering Kick to get the Unstoppable. Knocking Joanna into the kill zone. What a boss. That was fun to see. That was probably the plan all along, honestly. That's probably the one time he wanted to do it. That's like one of those plays you're like, I have a plan, and I'm going to do it at least once, damn it. But at what cost? Asmodan's actually going to get 2 bell towers on his own. Croven. Getting pretty low.
Show the Raven Lord the extent of my power.
All that bluster, and for what?
Yeah, why do I keep saying DG Alpha? I'm sorry.
This realm, and it will not be stolen from me.
Cassia pulling with the Valkyrie. I mean, Cassia has been hitting all of these Valkyries. I don't think she's missed a Valkyrie yet, honestly. I think the only Valkyrie that missed was because it got cleansed. It's doing work. Take a shot each time Snack says granted. Ah! I'm working on it. Vocabulary. DG able to secure their mid fort back. Trying to get back into this game. They gotta get some of the stuff. Granted. I'm sorry. And so they need to be paying attention. Throwing that Monk in there with the taunt into the dead zone. They're really making use of this dead zone. The only downside of it is that, like, the only time you can really make use of the dead zone is if your forts are already down, because that means they're pushing into that lane. But they're getting so much value out of it. Cassie has to use her ult. McNulty's using the trait, but they're going to get melted. And I imagine he's going to go down. Flyest Raven jumped back in, trying to save Joanna, but it did not work in her favor, costing her life. Do they go for boss now? Do they try to gank the Asmodan? Do they take the other mercs to push this bot lane? Put this bot lane pressure in their favor for DG for the first time in the game. Yeah, I like it. I like this play. They left the minions to take the fort. They knew they didn't have to focus their attention there. Put some pressure elsewhere. Chen taking the top lane. Asmodan still doing Asmodan things. Looking at the damage at this point. Cassie has now surpassed Asmodan by 2k. Asmodan still doing a lot of damage. Raynor and Phoenix are still up there. I mean, their DG is still doing way more damage than WFC. Unfortunately, they weren't. I don't think they timed that to get the fort with the bell towers, but they're still ahead. This is a 14 kill to 13 kill Dame. Experience still even. That's the wrong screen. Looking at the experience. Aslan hitting at 17,000 with his globes. Level 20s for both teams now. Getting the extra globe damage from the Azodan.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
Ooh, they're looking at boss. There's 5 members up. They saw them all bottom, so they figured they had no problem taking this. Knowing that the giving up that bot fort for an extra 4 shots puts them in kill range of the next bell tower. The next bell tower sequence is double towers, so if they win a team fight, this could potentially win the game. But it's going to be much harder to take these bell towers when you don't have a fort to retreat to. That's one of the downsides of giving up this bot lane. Granted, sorry. However, DG does get value by trading forts, so at least they are not down any shots, any total shots.
The altars are rising, heroes.
So Airfam activate to become unstoppable for 10 seconds. So what is this? They have DG has the opportunity to give some of these towers up. It puts them a little bit riskier. They have 15 seconds to decide what they want to do. Do they want to force out this fort, make sure that they have more towers than the rest of the team? But the FWC is not going to let them do this for free. But or do they? They do just let them take it for free. This is going to be a huge team fight. Azmodan's looking at the Azmodan, or Chen's looking at the Azmodan top. Unfortunately, the cleanse was huge, allowing Chen to just barrel through Azmodan. Blessed Shield missed. That's a lot of ultimates out. One ultimate from each side. That's totally a lot. Two ultimates is a lot. You heard it here first. Another great cleanse on the taunt. Raytor is doing work for his team. Chen's sitting on the top, making sure that any rotation he can slow down. He's still looking to pester Azmodan. Goat looking for all the stuns, getting a 3-man stun, but the huge 7-sided knocking him out of the fight. Something's gonna have to work out, check on. Now it's up to Archaic and Flyest Raven, popping the McNulty level 20. There's one Valkyrie miss. So I think that maybe 2 Valkyrie misses. Everybody's still pretty low. Phoenix and Archaic are doing work. Archaic getting the final kill on Cassidy, and that's a lot of their damage. Azmodan's even too hurt to go into this fight, or to stay in this fight. Picking off the Joanna, using all of her traits. Easy heal on Archaic with the Ancestral Landing. And this is not looking good for FWC on game number 1. So that's going to secure 2 bell towers for the final shots on the core.
Your powers will
And that's going to be game number 1 going to DG Handicap. Alright, so who's drunk, right? You guys are playing the drinking game on Granted and DG Alpha, right? How many shots is that? I want counts, honestly. I want counts. Alright, guys, so that's game number 1 under the books. Update the score here. And, I mean, that's a lot of damage going out. We got Raynor at 83, Phoenix at 71, Azmodan and Cassidy weren't able to catch up. So just that, I mean, even though they had the Cassidy, they had the Joanna, they had 2 blinds against 2 auto attackers. It just wasn't enough to really stop that damage incoming. So congratulations to DG Handicap on game number 1. And we're going to get set up to go into game number 2, which is going to be taking us to Volskaya Foundry, picked by FWC eSports. So let's get this. I'm gonna give a quick break while I get this set up with the teams, and we'll be back in a sec. All right, hang tight, guys. All right, guys, we are back. Moving on to game number 2. Actually, have the dog cam fixed this time, but not going to be on here for long because the teams are already ready for game number 2, bringing us to Volskaya Foundries. So we're going to get right into it.
Volskaya Industries.
All right. So this was the map picked by FWC eSports, so let's hope that they have a plan going into this. They got to bring it back and at least get that tie going with the first ban. So Volskaya, one of those maps where, again, rotation game needs to be on point. You want to control... The mercs on this map are so important, making sure that they control the turret camps and the heal camp on the top. Well, I expect to see a little scuffle in the heal camp as the teams rotate to it, usually pretty early. But FWC starting off with the Alex ban. They have first pick, so they didn't want to pick Alex. They didn't want to give up an option of another 2 heroes on the other team that they might want. So with forcing of the Alex pick, because since this map is so objective based on that point, Alex with the dragon form almost guarantees that you win that point for a little bit as long as you have a good rotation to it. So they want to take it off the table. And DG, who played Garrosh last game, wants to take Garrosh off the table. They're almost like they're mirroring each other's bans from game number 1. It's FWC answering with the Genji ban. Once again, one of those heroes that can just disrupt an enemy team enough where they don't want to deal with it. Archangel says he's bringing out the shine. I don't know, man. That might be risky. You're gonna have a lot of drinking to do with the way I'm talking so far, with the way that the drinking game's going. Maybe I should say granted, 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 granted. That's like, what, 5 shots, Arc? Let's see it. Alright, so Garrosh, or DG, banning out the Rainer. Again, a hero that they played last game to great effect, but deciding against it this time.
So it begins.
FWC, picking up the Deckard. Great zone control healer, pots for days, great sustain healing, can allow some of that roots combos to get some kills. And once he gets level 20, endless pots just can honestly win you a game.
The crusade calls.
I hear the call.
But towers, I mean, Volskaya Industry, DG bringing out the early pick Nazeebo. What is this? So DG, they bring out the spice, man. They are bringing out the Chen game 1, bringing out the Nazeebo game 2. They don't even care. They're showing it early, saying that, hey, we're gonna get the level 20 in this game. We're gonna get level 20. You're not gonna snowball against us unless we're the ones doing the snowball. And Nazeebo's gonna get that level 20 talent. And he's gonna do work. But Grant, oh my gosh. Also, Nazeebo, spiders and toads put a lot of pressure on the point. It makes somebody want to back up. With the answer to that, FWC picks up the Muradin, they pick up the Junkrat. Like Junkrat knocking people off the point, creating a lot of disruption. Muradin getting some dive on there. And he's allowed to jump off and on with the self-healing. DG banning out the Jaina, getting rid of one of those mages. Maybe they're scared of the Ring of Frost or the Water Elemental. They don't want it to get comboed onto them. I mean, Nazeebo also controls the point pretty well, the Gargantuan. FWC banning out the Chen. It said Chen was scary enough. We don't want you to deal with it. I like it. DG picking up the Zarya and the Ariel. So Zarya, basically an auto attack assassin. She is labeled as a tank, but I would not classify her as a tank. She is there for a support assassin. And dude, chat is wasted. Yeah, she's a support assassin. She provides some of the shielding for her Nazeebo or the Ariel if anybody gets dived on. And then she just kind of stands on the point. It's like, if you walk in here, I'm just going to melt you with my particle beam. And somebody's getting lasered. So how does WC respond? They respond with the Blaze and the Li Ming. Picking up the Mage. They have Junkrat. They have a lot of long-range poke. So they have Blaze that's going to be trying to engage on them with the stun. They have Bunker if needed. They have Muradin to jump in and out. And the poke with Junkrat and Li Ming. They have a lot of combos. I mean, they can Muradin, Blaze, Deckard, Stunlock combo. Junkrat to knock somebody out. DG finalizing the roster with the gray main. Another interesting draft from both teams, honestly. Volskaya Industry. Foundry. Volskaya Foundry. Man, I'm on point today. Alright, so game number 2. Volskaya Foundry. Let's see it in chat. Who do you guys think has got the better draft here? Do we got the sustained power of Ariel and Zarya? Do we got the poke power of FWC with Li Ming and Junkrat? I don't know. Honestly, I think I like DG's. Nazeebo's got a lot of zone control with the Toads. Nobody wants to run into Toads. Zarya with the sustain, shielding to keep him in the fight, especially with Ariel heals. Ariel really is not any threat. Yeah, Murden jumps on her. She's not really scared. I think I might go with DG on this one. All right, guys, you ready? You ready? I'm thinking about it. I'm going to change the scene pretty early. Look at that. Change the scene. Got it. I'm on point. All right, so game number 2. On the left-hand side, blue side, we got DG Handicap, Thesigia on the Joanna, Archaic on the gray main, Rowendine on the Ariel, DG on the Nazeebo, and DTM Goat this time on the Zarya. On the right-hand side, FWC eSports, Axon on the Li Ming, Kroven on the Junkrat, Raytor on the Deckard, Flyest Raven on the Blaze, and McNulty on the Muradin. So will DG Handicap be able to pull out the 2-0? Looking at level 1 talents, got Greymane and Joanna holding it for a little bit. Got a little bit of poking from the Junkrat, kind of getting some scouting. Looks like DG's just looking for the early clears. Zarya wants to get some free shielding, but nobody takes the bait. They're all playing pretty passive. Got the rotation down to the bot lane. Getting some nice combos from McNulty and Axon already. Archaic is already down to a quarter health, and honestly, Li Ming is just going to be a pest. So, with that rotation, I like it. They have brought Nazeebo down to the mid lane. Since the 4-man was delayed from the poke from McNulty and Axon, both team, or at least DG, is already rotating into the turn camp. Like I said very early, that nice dodge on the stun, but the second stun hits and the root hits. Nazeebo wall there to kind of protect himself a little bit. Ooh, he canceled it. He canceled it early so he could walk away, and that almost got himself killed. But with the first turret camp already taken by DG, that means that gives them ability to actually charge into the enemy's turret camp, place their own turret there as an aggressive tactic, and that seems like what they might be doing right now. I mean, they do have Arl in the top lane, so they have no healer here. They have Zarya with the shielding, so you see she's already at basically full energy. Archaic's in the backline taking a lot of damage. Ariel will have a heal available, not close enough. There he does, just finally gets that last heal. Archaic still quite low, could still be scared of the Junkrat in the backside, but basically all this really did was delay it enough where Blaze made them scared and run away, and allowing FWC to get that first kill of the game onto Joanna. I don't see much chat talk about who's winning this one. You guys aren't allowed to wait until like 10 minutes into the game and then choose. You have to choose early. You have to be responsible. We're gonna probably look at Goat trying to keep her energy up. A pretty effective early camp from FWC. That this is gonna push top lane while the objective is in the mid lane. Blaze picking up that soaking duty along with the Junkrat, keeping that. Actually have a half a level lead already in this game. They've only lost with only 1 kill. Much different from the last game already in this early game. Nice knockback from the Joanna. Actually goes over the gate. It was so close. I feel like that was so unlucky because her hitbox was just slightly more on the other half. Like she should have landed on the gate, but it just 50-50 RNG. So, I mean, it's not a big deal because it's an early game. If they get this pick on Blaze, it might even out the odds, but this is going to be essentially a delay tactic. Nice little dodge there on the whip, walking back into the conveyor belt, and that's what you like to see from these higher ranked teams in the Storm division. Those little slight dodges there, subtle. Nice stun combos, big Blaze hitting 3 members. Zombie wall actually secured the Blaze kill, and the heal from Rwanda was enough to keep Digi alive. Archaic still looking for more damage here. Meanwhile, we got Zarya and the Joanna on the point trying to delay this this objective. But we're going to see the full push. I mean, Axon still has a turret. DTM Goat still has a turret. We got a nice push back on the Ariel so that she's not available to heal. But, you know, FWC is saying, hey, it's okay. We have 99% to go through before we need to really re-engage here. DG Handicap has another turret they can take, but I don't think this is a time that they can even take it. They have to be full focused on this point. Unless they know that the other team is somewhere else, I think they really have to stay here, which is what they're doing. And it actually gives FWC time to hit level 7. They actually get pushed out with level 7. Turret down, that's a win for FWC. Again, there's still lots of time left. Lots of time left on this timer, on this objective. Big damage from Murden. He's able to jump away. Nice bomb after the Deckard Cane. Li Ming's looking for that poke. Digi on the back line is going to end up dying to the Blaze and the Junkrat. And it looks like DG is still looking to fight this. Another big stun hitting on with the root combo. Been working it with this Cane. Zarya with that grenade from downtown to finish the kill on Murden. Scaring off. Like, this is what I was talking about. Like, so the sustaining power from both Ariel and Zarya is what kept him on this fight. And that gave him the first Punisher. So let's see where they go with it. Putting both tanks in there, keeping their DPS outside, so that way they can help DPS. A lot of times what you'll see what these teams do is with the first Punisher, because it is early, it dies pretty quick, doesn't or it can die pretty quick, is you'll look to get these first 2 towers, and we'll see them rotate up top, take these 2 towers. If not, just take 1 tower and try to go for the well. And what that helps you do is that it helps you secure the next objective, which is 100% going to be top lane. But they're going to invade, jump onto this Archaic Greymane. Didn't quite time out the combos to get the kill on it. But, I mean, this Punisher is still doing some work. They should be able to take this well out. So now for the next objective, FWC is not going to have a well available to step back and regroup and, you know, get some of that free healing, which gives a big benefit for DG. We see Nazeebo in the mid lane doing some double soaking. Neebo's sitting at 58 stacks right now. I think by the time we're halfway to level 20, so a little bit slower on the stacks, which I think is okay. You're probably not going to be looking, honestly, to get the stack quest at level 20 maybe. Depends on how the rest of the game goes. Stop disrespecting them with the name. DG? Oh, DG Handicap? Level 10's close, but not too close. DTM go at full energy. Let's look at this damage. Zarya not too far behind the Greymane. And on the other hand, obviously Li Ming's the top. Junkrat not too far behind her. So far, pretty even from both teams. 2 to 3 kills. Another invade. They have just right when they hit level 10. Smart decisions here. And FWC has to give it up. They just hit their level 10s. A huge curse bullet onto the Murden, forcing him to be super low, but we got the Junkrat Riptire coming in, doing huge damage to everybody. But in the background, Digi is basically soloing Kroven. Already Gargantuan's already on cooldown, probably used it to soak up some tower shots on the keep. But with that engagement, nobody dies. Did Flyest Raven come in with a big stun in the background. Huge whip from Rowan. Knockback on Goat. It's going to secure that kill right back into the tower. And Flyest Raven here is going to be waiting to see his next stun. No, they're going to give it up. Alright, so that was a nice engagement there. 2 to 4 kills. Still even on talents with the Greymane coming back here to take this Merc camp. So with all that, exactly even on experience. Not too bad difference on structures. Let's see, we got, I mean, no structure damage for FWC. But that's okay. I mean, I think really honestly the fact that they had lost the first Punisher, they are up in kills, and they're still even experience is a win in itself. Hopefully they don't continue to lose Punisher, but nice push for DG on this bot lane. Saying we don't, the rest of the team we know is somewhere else so we can get some value. Nice decision making. Zarya staying a little long, is not worried. She saw Muradin in the mid lane. I mean, they're just putting pressure on all three lanes here, honestly. Look at Nazeebo. Nazeebo's up to 95 now. He could probably, with a lot of focus on soaking, they can probably get that. But a huge jump onto the RL. She has Crystal, Aegis, to stop that stun. She'll be able to heal herself after this. Riptire coming in with the sleep, so she's not able to get the heal off. The sleep was huge, allowing the kill onto the Ariel. This will net FWC a good portion of the first objective, but like what happened last game, that does not mean that you secure it. There will be enough time for Ariel to come back. They're actually not even going to run to it. DG deciding that it's more important to get their turret. Honestly, no team has gone after the heal camp yet. I'm actually quite surprised by that. Especially with how sustainy it is. Ooh, I like this. Cheeky, he's going for it, but actually gets spotted by the Junkrat trap. You're like, oh man, that was going to be so sneaky there, but then, nope, never mind. Alright, do they finally go for the heal camp? It's like, they must have been listening to me. Pretty other shield curse, bullet going out. Gargantuan in 3 seconds, so they might look to just hold this for a little bit, let Gargantuan put on the point. We still have Blessed Shield available and Expulsion Zone, so they 100% will get this as long as they don't all die beforehand. Blessed Shield coming out, Gargantuan's doing a little bit of zoning. Thesigia is actually probably going to die in the back shrines, and she does. And the stay a while and listen, just to secure them a little bit. Huge stun on the RL. She has Aegis, but she probably won't even use it because she doesn't need to. Li Ming now popping off with her cooldowns. So that is a 3-man kill with taking the heal camp. I'm probably going to see them, everybody, doing the PvE game now while they wait for DG to res and try to re-engage. No items, no problems. So, DWG, they had the lead. They have one fort down. The middle fort is almost down as well. They're not, definitely 100% not out of it yet. But what are they going to do to defend this Punisher? Do they spend all 5 since they are even talent tiers still? Do they try to get some split soaking to catch up on experience? It looks like they are defending as all 5. They're going to have to be careful. I mean, the Punisher does a lot of damage. FWC is going to get some free clear on top lane. Alright, they see Blaze top. Nazeebo's on top as well to defend against the Blaze. Now, Zarya is going to do really well with defending against this turret just because she's able to get free shielding on whoever it jumps on. Unless you use it a little early like that. Or end up having to use a lot of her healing and shielding already. But they were able to secure out this Punisher. Pretty much got 0 value. They did take the well again. The next objective will 100% be bottom, so they took out that well. It made it even for both teams since both wells are gone. Ooh, this is risky. Blaze is closer to be able to rotate, but Blaze is actually going to run up to Nazeebo. Thesigia is not having a fun time running into literally everything. But on the plus side, his team was able to pick up the turret. So, worth, maybe? Ooh, looking at Rowenda. Nice combo. I like the aggressiveness. Ooh, oh, I was waiting for that whip on the Kane, honestly, on that wall. Not like it would have mattered, but it would have been spicy. They wouldn't be able to secure the kill or anything. I'm looking at this top lane. They're looking at this Blaze. The Blaze stun, able to dodge the cursed bullet, and they're just going to chase this down. I don't think it's going to do anything here. They're just delaying more and more. And because they're up there and showing themselves, they're just going to dismantle this Zarya all over the place, using her double shields, getting stunned out. forcing out the Crystal Aegis, soon to die right afterwards. And this actually will get Ariel killed as well.
Hero slain.
Might not have been worth. Ooh, that puts them in a tough position. And the Zebo sitting up top lane at 154 stacks, so we will be level 20 powerhouse. Ooh, he might get caught out. He's gonna have to mount up right now. McNulty's looking for it. Oh, he's dead. He has Ice Block, but it's not gonna save him. Oh, not what you want to see. Using up these different, what's it called? When your death timers are staggered. That's the word. Who's DWG? Who's DG? Alright. Finally. Second heal camp might be able to get taken. Look at this guy break. I know, Richard's so mean, man. Just, he gets upset, like, I don't play with him for one game, and he gets all, like, annoyed with me, and doesn't like me anymore. Flyers Raven scouting it out. Dodges, easy dodging that curse bullet. Easy to dodge when you're still mounted. Looking to slow everybody down. I mean, they might get an invade onto this Ariel. That's what they're looking for. Stun going out, but misses. Just barely out of range. Nazebo just rezzed and came back. They have 2 heal camps and a turret camp. I think they pretty easily secure out this bot Punisher, but they're still looking for it. I mean, they're just going to keep pushing in here. Shield is down on Goat. Just get it back up. A big stairwell. Listen, Ariel walks back into it. Nice combos from the Li Ming. DTM Goat is still alive somehow. Everybody's in the bunker. 1 heal camp goes down. 2 heal camps go down. They're trying to stay alive. Everybody's still alive from both teams. The shielding from Zarya is turning it back, so they forced out every item from FWC and lived and actually pushed them out. How does that happen? Honestly, somebody tell me that. How did that happen? I wish I had a replay feature like Akuma does, but I do not, so we will not be able to watch that again. So, DG, Handicap, able to get one of their turrets. So they will have 1 item up on everybody. We got 1 minute on the other turret. We got a minute and a half on the heal camp. That's going to probably give the first Punisher, this third Punisher to DG, which is pushing onto a keep lane. First bullet going on onto McNulty, forcing the jump with the zombie wall. I mean, they're going to try to look back into it, but without McNulty having the jump, they might be a little too scared to. Gargantuan coming out, but Archaic in the backside, not looking to have a fun time with the shield coming out. There's still a lot of shielding available. Oh, the Aegis came out and was not on the right person. This is turning into a fiesta. The conveyor belts are getting everybody out of position. They don't know where to go. Bunker popping out. Zarya's just trying to stay alive. Ends up dying. Oh, they had such a good chance on this one, but the conveyor belts are just messing them up. It's so hard to fight on that point. That is why it is the fiesta point. Oh, feels bad, man. Right when they hit level 20. So they have the long range force. So we have the rewind, which we'll probably see right there. Instant deletion on the RL, so now some more staggered deaths. They might just push keep here, honestly. I think they should just push keep. We got some, maybe they're trying to get more staggered deaths. I don't know. I feel like that was an easy keep. But I am not a Storm player, so I know nothing. So there's 33 seconds left on RL. Can they even recontest? They can't recontest this, right? Got Joanna just trying to hit level 20 now. Yeah, oh, they 100% can't contest it because they're not 20 yet. So obviously, feels so bad for DG, man. They were looking so good, but the conveyor belts were just messing them up. Greymane got stuck in the back end. Greymane got stuck in the front end. It was just, this is going to require a huge defense. Granted, they did it once already. I said granted again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Trying still almost a full level away from level 20, where Nazebo's going to start doing a lot of damage. Archaic down to half health already due to the Punisher. I think they might have to give up this keep. I mean, McNulty's getting low, but he has the self-heal. DTM Goat, again, with the double shields now, able to provide a lot of shielding for his team and energy for himself. Looking at the damage really quick. Got Nazebo up to 56 and Zarya at 34. Li Ming sitting up there. Nice ice block to stop the stun from the Punisher. Big stay a while onto the silenced, forcing out the Art Aegis. Does Zarya have a way to save herself? She has one more shield available. Will end up going down. Archaic nearly dying. So they will lose the keep. But they lose the game now? They could lose the game? If one more person dies, they lose. They don't be too aggressive. One stump coming out. Huge wave of force knocking him back into position. Digi going down. And I think this is going to be FWC securing game number 2. Maybe not. Maybe not. They're looking for it. I mean, they're still pushing. We got Deckard with the silence. They pick up Junkrat, but at what cost? Greyman going down. Still pushing onto this keep. Knocking away the Joanna. She's doing her darndest to try to stop him. Bunker, allowing everybody to get in, get some free healing and armor. And I don't think there's any way that Thizia is able to secure this keep on her own. And that means game number 2 going to FWC eSports. So congratulations, guys. That was intense. That clown fiesta on bot lane. Oh man, I feel so bad for TG. They had a 99%. They just got all discombobulated by it. I don't know, since usually my thing is that if it ended up being a tie game, I'll try to invite somebody of the person who won second, or whoever won the second game. So let's see if we can get somebody from FWC in here. Let's see. Yeah, I know. I'm like, so my terminology is really bad. All right, so we got, who do we got in here? We got McNulty, the tank player himself from FWC eSports. How's it going? How were those games for you?
Chaotic, hectic, frustrating at times.
Definitely. I mean, both of them, honestly, they were so even for both games. I mean, it could have gone either way. It was so hard to tell. So for game number 1 on Towers of Doom, you guys were going back and forth with taking the bot towers, which is, everybody knows, it's kind of like the most important lane. At what point were you getting scared? Because you guys were down bell towers pretty much the whole game. Like, at what point you guys were really saying, like, oh, we need to do something crazy? Like, did you have any plans to do something like trying to catch anybody off guard? Especially with the Azmodan.
Well, we've worked a little bit on the Azmodan, and I think I thought it was good, but you know, maybe they showed that it's not that good. I can't answer that. As far as whether we were scared or not, first off, shout out to DG as far as the opponent. They seem like nice guys. They also played very well together. It was, as you said, very competitive. But we definitely had the attitude going in that we're the returning champions, that we're the best team in NGS. And so we probably, game 1, we didn't treat it with enough seriousness that it deserved. And they showed that if we don't play our best, we're not going to win the game. So props to them for that. As well as far as when we were scared, there was never a moment when we were scared in that game. It was more of like, oh shit, we're actually losing. It was more a surprise. And they deserved to win. We had 3 team fights where we were just really split. I mean, I died a lot, but it was in team fights. I was trying to eat a lot of the throws and stuff, and maybe I ate too many. I'm not sure. I don't know. We're gonna have to look at them. Like anytime, and like if you beat a team like by a lot, or if it's like not a close game, then you still probably made mistakes, but it's
it's harder to
not,
really pinpoint. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, what's the point of going over it? But if it's a close game, both teams clearly could have done like a lot more, and again, they played quite well. But we made a lot of mistakes, and it's frustrating because we don't want to make these mistakes again and again.
So my biggest question, I said it when it was picked, and I think Richard Greer in chat was like, oh no, Demonic Invasion is always the pick. So for you guys, was it just a decision of your Asmodean player, that's what he likes to play, or did you guys go in knowing that you're definitely taking Demonic Invasion versus Blackpool?
So we've tried both. As far as builds are concerned, my general policy, like for me, on every hero I play, I pretty much play the meta build, because not that I'm a meta slave, but I believe it's meta because it's the best. But if everybody else, if they have a hero that they think like a build is better, I'm never gonna tell them to pick something else.
Yeah, I mean, if they're comfortable with it, they're usually gonna play better with it. I was just interested to see if you guys had a like, if maybe, I know you're not the Asmodean player, but if you had some insight up to why he thinks that's the better one.
As far as that, we tried both, and we were told Demonic Invasion's better. I don't know which one's better. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So if Axon chooses it, it probably is better, but it's not necessarily better.
Yeah. So then with the Chen pick, I didn't even talk about that. Did you guys see that coming? I know you said in chat you guys were that very close to banning Chen.
Okay, so we didn't do like enough research, I think, but we did look up, the other team, obviously, and we saw Tisguy, and like I think I played with him a few times, maybe not that many, but we knew that he's like an amazing Chen player, and so we did have a short talk where like, should we actually target ban as Chen? And the team was pretty evenly split between half the team saying it's Chen's really bad, let him play Chen. Other half saying, but he's a really good Chen. So you know what I mean? Like, what are you supposed to do? It's like if somebody right now is like a Rainer main, you're gonna ban the Rainer. Rainer's really
easy.
strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if someone's a Chen main,
it's tough. Like you can see he's counterable. He's counterable, but you guys didn't have too many stuns to counter him with, which is the big thing. So you kind of got away with it. And the barrels. I mean, I love that one barrel on you into the kill zone. That was probably. I'm sure that was so frustrating to be the Johanna in that situation.
Well, I mean, it's not so much frustrating as it is like thinking to myself, like, damn, played me.
How did I let this happen? Yeah.
Yeah, and like what it was is we were trying to prevent, we were just trying to defend bottom fort because, as you mentioned, it's super important on that map.
Yep.
And as Johanna, because I have Iron Skin, I'm supposed to step up and just clear the wave as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So I was the problem is it was the dead zone, and I didn't actually have my D cooldown off because I misplayed it.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw the opportunity. I don't know if he knew that it was off cooldown or whatever, because normally you don't ever barrel a Johanna for the reason that it's really
exactly.
And he outplayed me, you know what I mean? So we made a lot of mistakes that game. Like it's frustrating because I think all things considered, like we still should have won the game.
Mm-hmm.
When they trade top fort for bot fort, like it's a huge win for us, especially considering the next altars are like bottom.
Yeah, that's what I was saying as well.
Yeah, but we like folded. It was very bizarre. We wanted to contest them under our fort, and then we were slow to rotate. And then the fight lasted like a minute and a half. And for our comp, we weren't looking to fight, against Rainer Phoenix, the two best sustained damage dealers in the game right now.
Yep.
We're not looking to have a minute and a half long fight. And that's what happened. So yeah, I mean, again, and like hopefully this comes through. DG wheelchairs played well. And last season though, we started last season splitting our series against Victoria's Secret. We went 1-1. And then we rattled off a lot of wins, so hopefully that's what happens next.
So real quick, moving to game number 2, what were you guys' thoughts on the early pick Nazeebo?
We thought it was a bad pick. Nazeebo is one of these heroes that he's not a strong hero. He can be strong in some situations. He's the kind of hero who is probably the strongest hero at level 20.
Yep.
I don't even think probably. I think it's almost for sure. Like even Asmodean fully stacked is not quite as strong as Nazeebo.
Definitely.
The problem is like pre-20 he is not that strong. So we weren't like afraid of the pick, so we were fine playing into it, but we were really worried about, I guess is the best word as far as their comp, about like an Ariel Zarya, which is
So much sustain.
well, no, it's like a year and a half old like meta pick, you know,
Yep.
but like we aren't scrimming a ton, but we're scrimming enough, and we have not played against that in probably a month and a half, you know. So
There was a
is
fight. There was a fight bot lane where you guys had 4 items, I think 2 turrets and 2 heals, pushed into them, and they still fought back on it. I was like, what? Like, how did this happen?
Yeah,
But it was
I don't
ridiculous.
know. Again, we'll have to find out. But yeah, like that's an old draft. I love Zarya. I think she is a very underrated hero, but we haven't been practicing against her because no one plays her, you know. And so do I think their draft was like good or bad? I don't think it was like a great draft. Having said that, and like I also don't think it was super close game. We messed up a bit, but at the end was I think they still ended. You know, it was like 20-18. We were 25 kills or something.
Yeah, it was even for a good portion of it. I mean, it was definitely back and forth of who had more control of towers and who had more control of items and all that. But yeah, obviously near the end, the last 5 minutes, you guys definitely dominated.
Well, I mean, like they're a good team. We're not gonna win in 10 minutes, you know. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, so like I felt like we had reasonable control, you know. Like maybe we didn't. I don't know. It the only thing that panicked us a bit is the fact that they had so much split pressure, because Zarya and Greymane pushed super hard, and the Zeba was like split pushing away, and Blaze isn't really the best answer to it. Again, I don't think our draft was great against what they had because we just haven't played against it in a long time, you know.
Right.
But I also, who knows? The point being, I don't believe in their draft. Like I'm not going to start drafting that stuff. But clearly, like they've worked with it, and it did catch a bit.
Either way, they ended up being both very fun games in my opinion. I had fun. Chat was berating me a little bit more than I was expecting, I think. But either way, they were fun games. They were very even. Honestly, I feel like both games could have gone either way. So it always makes it more enjoyable to watch because you never know what's going to happen. One person messes up and it changes the whole course of the game for the rest of the game. But for signing off here, so do you have any shout outs that you want to give out?
Well, first off, yeah, sure. The first is I hope no one was berating you too much.
I mean, that's all joking, but I'm just poking fun at them.
Gotcha. Because like my number one shout out is always like to the casters of NGS. Like we love getting our games casted. It's a lot of fun for us, you know, as players. So we very much appreciate you. So thank you, Snags, for casting us. As far as the other shout outs, and I guess, you know, our performance may not bear it, but first off, always shout out to the other team. NGS, you know, it's a competitive league, but it's also like you know, one built around, you know, being friendly with other teams or so. So I very much value every other team and every player in NGS. So thank you to the other team. And finally, there was a podcast, and my friend Hollis told me about this, that the people in the NGS podcast, not a single person predicted that we would repeat as champions. So we have a chip on our shoulder. And again, we went 1-1, so it's not like we have like a strong platform to talk.
There's still 2 more games. 2 more games to go this week or this round.
Yeah. But I'm saying very definitively, we believe we are going to win again, and we are, you know, we're throwing down the gauntlet. Because, you know, the lack of faith in the predictors is very puzzling given what a strong season we had last season and the fact that we have the same team. So
throw in the fire. So for any of those other Storm Division people that are watching right now or potentially still watching, you heard it. You heard it. He's calling you out.
We think we're the best. So in NGS, like not that we're the best, like amateur team, because we're not.
There you go. I mean, it's fair for you to think that. Nobody can stop you. You just got to prove it now.
You know what? When a team 2-0s us, then I'll say, you know what, you're better. But until then, you know, we still get to be the champs.
There you go. Well, I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too, and you know, definitely good luck in your upcoming games.
Thank you. Yeah, no, of course. Like, you know, had a blast. I mean, again, the game one, we were more surprised than scared or so. But DG Wheelchairs is going to be a very good team this season. So team to look out for.
All right. Well, you have a good one. See you.
Yep. Thank you. Bye.
All right, guys. That was fun. Honestly, they were both really fun games. I think it's fun to have interactive chat, honestly. Going through stuff, thanks for the follows, Bobo, McNulty, which I know is McNulty, Mason Blaze, GG or G Galdron, Swoop, Galdron, Professor Bobo with the 200 bits, and Richard Keir with the 500 bits. What a boss! I guess you can make fun of me. Whatever. We'll get some games in. But I hope you guys had fun. And, sign on next time. Keep watching NGS games. Keep doing what you're doing, everybody. And McNulty forgot some shout-outs. Ooh, people are going to be angry. He calls out all of NGS and then forgets some regular shout-outs. Rookie. But so I'm gonna be gone all next week, but I'll be hitting it hard the following week after that. So look for that. We got obviously my team playing the blue team in Division B, and then trying to fit as many casts as I can. So you guys have a good night. Thanks.